Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. The United Arab Emirates has sent shockwaves through global energy markets by announcing its withdrawal from the OPEC and OPEC Plus, citing a need to prioritize national interest and gain production flexibility. The UAE is breaking away from the 60-year-old alliance at a critical moment. Let's take a look at this report from DD India's Jessica Taneja.
United Arab Emirates is leaving OPEC, or the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, after 60 years. It's a decision that the country has been mulling for nearly a decade. Since its inception, the cartel has dictated oil supply and demand for the entire world. UAE's exit on May 1st will result in the cartel losing roughly 12% of its oil. It's the third largest producer and also was one of the founding members. So why did it leave the cartel, whose oil production moves have the ability to rattle global economy? And how will this affect oil supply? Soon after the decision was announced, UAE's energy minister clarified that this is a policy decision, not a political one. Restricted oil supply due to the uncertain fate of the Strait of Hormuz has provided the perfect timing to make an exit, because it doesn't really change anything from market supply perspective. And as for the United States, its oil and natural gas production has increased massively over the years, thanks to its shale revolution. On the other hand, Abu Dhabi and Riyadh have had historical disagreements over oil cartel's direction and also its decision-making. Let's not forget that the de facto leadership of the Saudis have been repeatedly accused of keeping energy prices higher to balance its books better than the wealthier Emiratis. For the UAE, it's about seeking more independence in how much oil it sells and what it's priced. For a country that can produce nearly 5 million barrels of oil per day at relatively low costs, these restrictions seem to not go down well. It's not just about the limitations, but also about not getting proper returns for the heavy investments that the country has made in oil and gas infrastructure. United Arab Emirates wants to export at maximum levels to add more wealth that could then go on to fund its next stage of development. UAE's withdrawal did not come as a surprise to many, because these tensions have been brewing between the two Gulf states for a while now. Cracks were visible during the disputes over Yemen and Sudan, where the two sides supported rival factions. The rift between them became even more apparent when UAE bore the maximum brunt of Iran's retaliatory strikes that fired nearly 2,000 missiles and drones. Abu Dhabi openly criticized the weak response from its Gulf neighbors. In the current scenario, UAE's exit from the oil cartel will have limited to no effect on the global oil supply. Right now, the blockade of Hormuz prevents 1/5 of the world's oil and gas produced by these Persian Gulf states to transit. So UAE's exit won't really add more oil to the market, at least for the time being. But as soon as Strait of Hormuz reopens, UAE will try and fill some gap in oil shortages, because there will be huge demands from countries waiting to replenish their reserves that have been massively hit by high energy prices and the continuing conflict in West Asia. And as for OPEC, UAE's departure from the oil cartel will not only weaken the group's ability to quickly increase production, but the bloc will be left with less spare capacity to balance its supply and stabilize prices in the future.